Congratulations, Congressman Mulvaney, on your nomination. You said in your testimony that the number one priority, either yours or of the federal government, is to defend the country. Is that correct?
I think it's one of the few things that are actually affirmatively stated in the Constitution.
Admiral Mullins is a career military guy. Nobody would question his honor or whether he served honorably. Are you familiar with his statement when he said that the greatest risk to our national security is our debt?
It was raised at my very first Budget Committee hearing in 2011, and it put the fear of God in me as soon as I got to Washington, D.C.
Do you think it's fair, people can characterize you or your positions in any way, but do you think it's fair maybe to characterize your concern for debt as being also a concern for national defense, that maybe we can't be a strong nation if we're indebted, or if we borrow $1 million a minute, maybe we won't be able to afford, and there might be a day that there's a calamitous economic crisis concerning our debt, and that would make us vulnerable to invasion?
I think history would teach us, and I think perhaps Admiral Mullen was considering this, that great nations throughout history have traditionally failed from within. They've rotted from within because of their inability to manage their finances.
I think sometimes in partisan politics, people tend to question the motives of their opponents, and I think that's a mistake, and that we have many disagreements, Republican and Democrat, on how we fix things. Even among our own party, we have some disagreement on how to fix things, but I think that understanding that your motives are for your country, for defending the country, and that your concern over the debt is not over numbers, but over concern for the future of your country. When we talked about raising the debt ceiling, and much has been made about, oh, you were advocating for shutdown. I remember those debates. I had just gotten here, and I think you had just gotten here. And the debates in 2011 weren't over advocates for shutdown. They were over whether or not we should reform the process at the same time we raised the debt ceiling. So there was a bill at that time that I believe you supported, cut, cap, and balance. And this was a bill that said, basically, we will agree to raise the debt ceiling. It's going to have to go up at some time. But when we have this big calamitous debate, we should try to fix things instead of doing the same old, same old. Some of the discussion has been over waste. I'm all for getting rid of waste and fraud. You know why it's been here forever? I remember as a kid in high school seeing the Golden Fleece Report. Senator Proxmire would talk about this waste. The reason it's here is we don't do our job. Our job is to pass the individual appropriations bill, and what do? We lump them all together in one enormous bill called continuing resolution, which I'm sure you voted against a few, as I have, because we don't fix the problem. But it doesn't mean we're against all the spending in government. We want to fix the problems, do our job, pass the individual appropriations bills. But I think the thing is that it's a mischaracterization, I think, of your position and many conservatives that we're for shutting the government down. No, we're for not keeping it open without reforming it. We want to reform it, and that when we have these debates and we come to a head, should it be easy to raise the debt ceiling? Some on the other side want to have the debt ceiling just go up automatically. In fact, the last time we raised the debt ceiling, they raised it without a dollar amount. They just said, oh, let it go up as much as it can for a year and a half. With regard to entitlements, I saw the care and I believe the emotion in your voice about taking care of your mother-in-law and stuff. What are your motives? Are your goals to try to preserve Social Security and preserve Medicare? Are your motives to destroy the entitlements? What are your motives?
I think I've said many, many times that the real risk we run is doing nothing, and by doing nothing, we will ruin those programs. We will make sure that when you and I retire, there'll be a 22% across-the-board reduction.
And these statistics are coming from the Social Security trustees saying that this is going to happen. Within about a decade or so, we would have a massive across-the-board cut. And so really the debate shouldn't be, oh, these people don't care about the elderly. We all have parents. We all have grandparents. We all care about the elderly. It's about how we fix it. But I think what's really inexcusable are those who berate one side and say, oh, you don't care, when in reality I think doing nothing shows a lack of caring. If you do nothing to fix Medicare, if you do nothing to fix Social Security, and sure, we can attach emotions to this and attach false motives, but I think we should listen to what our candidates say, listen to what the electorate said, and really try to judge people on whether or not you think they're honest and sincere. You know, he went above and beyond the law to pay taxes on something that was well beyond what the law would have said. Did it because he was honest in answering his questionnaire. So I wish you the best of luck in your position. I hope people on the other side will not question your motives. We'll look at that it's a sincerely held belief that the debt is hurting the country, that the debt hurts our national defense, that if you could expand national defense and not add to the debt, that should be a commendable position, not something that we should denigrate. So I wish you the best of luck and going forward, and I think there needs to be a balance of concern for debt and expenditure, and I thank you for your service.
Thank you, Senator.
Thanks, Senator Paul. Senator Tester.